Are you ready to get fit? Listen to Exercise Basics for some good tips to reaching your goal.
This is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network. Welcome to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Your host, Felice Gerwitz, is an author, a publisher, and your radio show host. She will encourage, educate, and inspire you with answers to your most pressing questions from homeschool, marriage, parenting, and much more. Felice loves to equip moms to live a Christian life because every moment counts. Be sure to visit her website at mediaangels.com. And here's your host, Felice Gerwitz.
Hey everyone and welcome. My name is Felice Gerwitz. This is an episode of Vintage Homeschool Moms. Today we are going to talk about exercise basics. This is podcast 178 and you can find the podcast notes on vintagehomeschoolmoms.com. And a shout out to Elephant Learning. Elephant Learning has been our sponsor for this entire month's time, and I really want to thank all of you for visiting elephantlearning.com/media angels to try out their app. They have an online math program for the little ones, and these guys are really growing by leaps and bounds, and they are continuing to produce a quality math curriculum that is going to go beyond equations. It's really teaching the kids concepts. So a shout out to Elephant Learning. Thanks so much for sponsoring Vintage Homeschool Moms and the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network as our premier sponsor this month. Well, today we are going to talk about exercise basics, and only I would do a podcast on exercising to make myself exercise because I have to come back here and report to you guys, right? So I'm going to be doing this ongoing series for a while, and my podcasts come to you from iTunes or Google Play or Stitcher, however you are listening to podcasts, maybe on our website. And so you may not know that I am pre-recording these to air on Saturdays. So you're going to get 2 podcasts from Vintage Homeschool Moms a couple of times a month. As I make myself exercise. I've been talking about exercise for such a long time with some dear friends, and I just can't seem to make myself do it. So by podcasting about it, I feel guilty if I don't go and exercise. So hopefully you guys are doing it along with me. So today I wanted to talk about some exercise basics, and I think when I bring it down to very simple terms, then I'm feel better about doing the exercise myself, as well as giving, you guys some pointers on things that have worked well for me. And so the first thing I want to talk about is making it doable. My goal was to start, my goal was to get to walk about 5 miles a day. I'm not going to run anymore. I used to jog and loved it. But I'm not going to, do that anymore because of, some getting older issues here. But what I found was with that goal in mind, it seemed insurmountable. And basically because of the time, I think I was telling a friend recently, or I may have even mentioned this on the podcast with Meredith that I did a couple of days ago, that it's not so much the exercise that's killing me, it's the time to do it. And so my schedule is crazy, and I don't always have that set time that I can put aside to do it, even though I would love to do it early in the morning, jump in the shower, and then go on with my day and get, as my kids would say, the hardest thing over with at the beginning of the day. But that would have to mean getting up earlier than 5:30, and I am not a morning person, so 5:30 or 6:30 is typically when I do get up because of all the obligations I need to meet each day. And also being able to have a time for prayer. So it doesn't always fit into, exercise in the morning. So one of the things I decided to do was make it doable, and I knew I could spare 5 to 10 minutes a day. So that was my goal, was to make it doable and to try to get to 3.5 miles a day. So that is my goal. I have not made it to 3.5 miles a day, but it's still out there, and it's something I'm hoping to aspire to. And basically, it's not so much, again, that I'm giving up on doing it. It's just finding the time right now to do it. The second aspect I wanted to talk about was to have some good equipment, whether it's comfortable shoes. I'm not talking about, really cute clothes, although that would be fun. Usually when I'm doing my walking, it's on a treadmill. So it's not, necessary for me to have really cute clothes or anything, but to have comfortable shoes. And I know a lot of people insist on tennis shoes. And I'm in Florida, and even though it's a little bit cooler now as I'm recording this, we still wear sandals around here, and I have some really comfortable, Tevas that I wear that are like flip-flops. And so those are super comfortable. I actually have 3 pairs of them that I wear, and I switch them out so that I don't wear out a pair of shoes so quickly. And I love them, and they're really comfortable for walking. So I've been wearing those as well as tennis shoes. And I have 2 apps on my phone that I really like a lot. One I've used for a long, long time, and the other one I'm trying out more so because of this podcast. I love it. And it's a health app. So I'm not putting in any information like my name and things like that, but I am putting in things like body measurements and weight and height and stuff like that, so it can give me some information. And it's interesting because it must work with another app, the Pacer app on my phone, because when I set it up, it already told me that today I had climbed 3 flights of stairs and I had walked half a mile, and I have not exercised yet today. So how exciting, to look and say, oh, wow, I've already walked a half a mile. Yes, it wasn't all at one time, and yes, it was only while I was holding my phone, or I had my phone in my purse, because I've went out today and ran some errands. So, but it doesn't matter. It's just exciting that I can look at an app and say, okay, this is what I've done. And I can keep track of it that way too. So I looked at what I had done this past week, and I found that, this is actually the 8th day of the month. So out of 8 days and not having exercised yet today, I've already walked over a mile for 7 of the days. And so that, again, is really a motivator for me, because it keeps me, working toward my goal. I'm not there yet, but I am going to get there. And I'm going to be chatting with you in just a minute about, some of the light exercises you can begin with. And then for those of you that are, a little bit more advanced, some of the things you can do, as well as a handout that I have that I'm going to have on the website. So we're going to take a really quick commercial break with a shout out for Elephant Learning, and we'll be right back. Did you know that math is the foundation of all learning? Hi, Felice Gerwitz here with a special offer. Elephant Learning uses the way children naturally learn math to increase their ability at an early age. This program identifies where they are mathematically, what they understand and don't understand, and then provides your child experiences custom tailored to their personal level for learning. They cover a wide range of mathematical concepts for ages 2 through 9. If a child accelerates, this program takes them forward. If they need remediation, it gently takes them back to a more appropriate level. Elephant Learning wants math to be fun. It's like a game, a puzzle that engages your child, and when you step in as a parent and play mathematically at the level they understand, they love it. Get a free math assessment for your child by signing up for their 14-day free trial at elephantlearning.com, or for our special Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network offer, visit bit.ly/elephant learning offer. That's bit.ly/elephant learning offer. So if you want your child to be prepared at an early age to succeed in math and all the other subjects, check out this free trial on our website at bit.ly/elephant learning offer. everyone, and welcome back. This is Felice Gerwitz with Vintage Homeschool Moms. This is episode 178. Be sure to grab the show notes as well as the handouts that I have over at vintagehomeschoolmoms.com. Look for exercise basics to get this handout. So I was going over some things like making it doable, having good equipment such as shoes or some kind of digital tracker, which I enjoy. My kids have the Fitbit. I don't like anything. I'm not a jewelry person, so other than earrings that I can't feel in my ears, and actually I'm not wearing any right now. I don't even I wear a watch, but I don't wear it unless I go out. So other than my wedding ring, I am jewelry free. So anything on my wrist bothers me. So if you guys know of a different digital tracker that I can wear around my neck or something, even that, unless it's on a long necklace kind of thing, that would bother me too. So I know I'm just a mess, but anyway, the tracker things work, but of course I have to be holding my phone in order for that to work, or have it on me. The other thing that really works are the handouts I'm going to talk about. And so let me pull those over here. These actually come from my Creation Anatomy book, and I have a couple of things that I talked about when we were talking about health and fitness. And one of them is your pulse rate and the importance of your pulse to increase as you're exercising. And of course, get a recommendation from a doctor if you're under a doctor's care, and make sure that you are well enough to exercise. So make sure you do that. But one of the things that I did with this handout is I asked the kids to do this, so you can do it as well, moms and dads. Take your pulse at rest and after doing exercise. So the first thing I did with the kids was I have a one form that says, what is your pulse when you wake up? What is your pulse after breakfast? What is your pulse before lunch? What is your pulse before dinner? And what is your pulse before you go to bed? And do that for a week and just kind of see what your body rhythm is. And if you don't know how to take your pulse, that's something I'm sure you can go online and find out really quickly. The second thing is to take your pulse after doing exercises. And again, you do this every single day that you do exercises. So you take it at rest, and then you take it after doing exercises. So it just, again, gives you an idea of how you're doing. And, I know for me, if I'm standing up and talking, even if I'm on the phone and I decide to multitask, okay, I'm going to fix my bed, and I'm talking to my daughter most of the time when I'm doing this stuff, or I'm going up and down stairs, or doing something as I'm chatting on the phone, I am winded. I mean, it sounds like I just ran a marathon. And so I realized I had to start exercising, and I know, my pulse was just going crazy. My heart was just beating so fast. So that's a good indication that, come on, we need to exercise. One of my friends used to say that she began to lose weight, and she was one of our expo speakers from way back, but I loved her, Judy Dudich. And Judy would say, yeah, I began losing weight when I quit asking my kids to get things for me. So like, instead of saying, hey, can you refill my water, or can you go get me the laundry basket? She said she started doing all this stuff herself, and she just dropped the weight. I thought, wow, that's a great idea. So I also have an exercise chart that is on the site, and I just wanted to go through some of these with you. And also, another point I wanted to make is do enlist your kids. You can either have them do the exercises with you, or you can have them babysit while you exercise if you have younger kids. And if you have little ones, you might want to wait until your husband's home to give you a little bit of time, early evening or sometime, when you can have a few minutes to do this. So just some exercise basics, again, and this is on the form, and I have duration and repetition at the top, type of exercises across one side on one column, duration of repetition at the top, and then pulse rate. And I have it Monday through Friday. I did not put Saturday and Sunday. I'm kind of laughing at myself as I look at this. And it's because you want to give yourself a break. But Saturday and Sundays are fine if you want to add those to your list here for 7 days a week of exercise. So I know that with the boys and my daughter and my husband in the past, when he was really into lifting weights, one of the things that they did was they would alternate their exercises. And so that's good to do. But just for some basics, stretches, jumping jacks, sit-ups and variations of sit-ups, toe touches, push-ups, leg lifts, jump rope, jogging. For me, that would have been jogging in place. And then I have a place for you to add your weight and also your body measurements. And so you're free to make copies of this for your family to use. Again, it's on the website at vintagehomeschoolmoms.com on the podcast Exercise Basics 178. And then I also have a chart of weight loss. For me, it's exciting to be able to have a visual. I really like that, so I can have that up and see how I'm doing, and it really does motivate me. Of course, we all, fluctuate and go up and down, so I try not to take my weight or get on the scales weekly, daily. I try to do it weekly because it is a lot better for me to do that, because I know if I've messed up one day, I don't want to be super disappointed and then say, oh, what the heck, let's eat another chocolate chip cookie since I messed up. So anyway, hopefully that will help you to get a really good start in your exercise. And I appreciate you guys being my audience and my cheerleaders. Some of you guys have written to me encouraging me on my exercise journey. So I want to thank you for that. Hey, everybody. God bless. Felice Gerwitz again with Vintage Homeschool Moms, and hope you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Visit Felice at MediaAngels.com and thevintagehomeschoolmoms.com. Vintage Homeschool Moms is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network.